This is your primetime forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from Dr. Don's Weather. Dr. Don's Weather is made possible by the Randolph County Commission, Heron's Tree Service, Roger Bell Auto Brokers, Southern Auction Solutions, Genesis Weight Clinic, Jimmy Stevens Construction, Anchor Roofing, the Town of Wadley, Auction 431 South, and Bama Diesel Repair. From the Alpha Weather Center, powered by Boondocks Barbecue and Creamery, Southern Union State Community College, and the venue at 5 Points Farms. Here's Dr. Don.
Good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. A rare version of your primetime forecast live on your Tuesday morning to give you the latest information on the weather system that's moving through Alabama and Georgia this morning. It is a nasty, wet, cool, rainy morning out there, and what you see is pretty much what you're going to get at least through the first half of today. It may linger into the afternoon hours as well. But first, let me remind you about First Light Coffee in downtown Roanoke. A delicious coffee that's brewed right there in the shop. They also roast their own coffee. You got to stop by there. I mean, you can't paint a picture of a better day to stop by First Light Coffee than what you've got outside this morning. This is perfect coffee weather. They're open until 3 p.m. this afternoon. They're at 908 Main Street in downtown Roanoke. Be sure and stop by and tell Jessica and the crew that Dr. Don sent you, and tell them good morning from Dr. Don's Weather. Also, don't forget to check out Jamie Dukas. He can handle all of your insurance needs. Jamie can be contacted by calling 256-831-7770. You can also click the link at the top of the video or scan the QR code on the screen to find out how much money Jamie Dukas can save you with Alpha Insurance. Be sure and get in touch with Jamie today. Be sure you head over to our YouTube channel and click that subscribe button and also that little bell so that when we go live to cover severe weather, you'll be guaranteed to get that notification. Big thunderstorms in Mississippi yesterday afternoon. Some damage over there from tornadoes as well around Jackson, Mississippi. The good news is those storms died out a bit as they moved into Alabama. We have had showers and thunderstorms throughout most of the night, but we haven't had tornadic activity like we saw back in Mississippi. Now, there is a possibility that could change this morning as we approach 9, 10, 11 a.m., but I think it will stay south of the I-85 corridor. So basically from about Columbus down to Eufaula, maybe Troy, Dothan, even over into southwest Georgia, Donaldsonville, maybe over toward Albany and back up toward Macon. Could see some big thunderstorms later on this morning and into this afternoon. But I think north of the I-85 corridor, we're going to stay mostly cloudy, wet, rainy, just a nasty day across the region. Then as we head into your Wednesday, we're looking at all of those showers and thunderstorms moving on into extreme southern Georgia and back across the Atlantic coast, coastal South Carolina, North Carolina, up around the Outer Banks. Could be pretty nasty on your Wednesday, but things will be clearing up nicely across East Alabama and West Georgia. And by the time we get to Thanksgiving Day, look at that, no thunderstorm activity forecast anywhere in the United States on Thanksgiving Thursday. We're thankful for that, for sure. All right, so here's the latest graphic from the National Weather Service out of Birmingham. They're updating this about every 2 hours or so. And you can see that just a marginal risk of severe weather remains across central Alabama over into East Alabama and West Georgia. We're talking places like Demopolis, Clanton, Alexander City, Roanoke, on over toward Franklin and Heard County and down to LaGrange. That is a marginal risk. That means that is the lowest risk possible. But we can't completely rule out severe weather. And if we were to have any, it would be damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour and a brief tornado possible. The better chance, which is only a 2 out of 5, basically is from Selma to Wetumpka over to Auburn, and then on back over to around Pine Mountain and south. That would be the yellow shaded area, and that's the area where we stand the best chance, though it's not a good chance. Tornadoes would be possible with damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. And we think that all of this will be out of here maybe by 1, 2, or 3 o'clock this afternoon. This is a rather slow-moving storm system. We'll show you the radar in just a few moments. The cold front itself is still way back around Philadelphia, Mississippi, and these are showers and thunderstorms that are running out ahead of this storm system. So here are the severe thunderstorm risk for today. Again, that limited risk from Demopolis through central Alabama over into east Alabama and west Georgia. The elevated risk would be along and south of that I-85 corridor. Tornado risk, pretty much the same area, just a very small limited risk across most of the Dr. Don coverage area of east Alabama and west Georgia, with a little slightly better risk along and south of the I-85 corridor. Looking at the wind advisory, this will remain in effect through about 8 or 9 o'clock this morning, and this would be for wind gusts of 15 to 20 miles per hour. Occasionally, in the higher elevations, we could see wind gusts to 35 or 40, and that's, pretty much from Alexander City north in Alabama, and in Georgia, it's right there from about Heard County north up through Carroll County. This will be ending. You folks over in West Alabama, you're already seeing the winds subside. And these are non-thunderstorm winds. These are gradient winds. In other words, it doesn't take a thunderstorm for you to see wind gusts this morning of 15, 20, maybe 30 miles per hour. But as the system pulls on off to the east, this wind threat is going to start diminishing as well. Looking at the wind risk for this morning, there you see it. It's basically right along the Alabama-Georgia state line, and it's going to be in the higher elevations. We're talking Mount Cheaha, we're talking northeast Randolph County, Graham, up in that part up toward Bucktown and Carroll County, and then up into the Cleburne County areas where we stand the best chance of seeing some of these higher wind gusts this morning. Then the thunderstorm wind risk, these would be winds that are caused by actual storms. It covers a much larger area across central Alabama and east Alabama through about 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. Lightning risk. We backed off that significant risk because we just haven't seen the thunderstorm development that we could have seen. But we're still going to give you a decent chance of seeing some lightning this morning, but it's going to be a limited chance, and it'll cover central Alabama, east Alabama, and west Georgia. Extensive rainfall. Again, it's a limited risk, but we could see another 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch in rain across east Alabama and west Georgia, giving most locations a total of anywhere between 1 inch and 1.5 inches, maybe some isolated 2-inch rainfall totals across the area by the time this storm is completely done later on this afternoon. So moving ahead now and taking a look at the tropics, nothing much happening that's going to affect the United States. Couple of areas of disturbance, one out in the central Atlantic and one out in the southern Caribbean. But again, all of those areas moving off to the north and northeast shouldn't be a deal for the southeastern United States. Current conditions at the venue at 5 Points Farms in 5 Points. It is 54 degrees with rain falling. Wind out of the east-southeast at 6, occasionally gusting to 15 miles per hour. Humidity is 95% out there this morning. Barometric pressure 29.95, 62-degree dew point. We've had right at a 1/2 inch of rain so far. Another 1/2 to 1 inch of rain certainly plausible before this all ends this afternoon. High temperature yesterday was 70. Sunrise this morning was at 6:16, and the sun sets this evening at 4:38 p.m. We are headed for 67. That may be a tad bit optimistic. I like the mid-60s for the high today a little better. It'll be a cloudy, rainy, maybe occasional thunder this morning in Roanoke. Ashland will make it to 67, as well as Lineville, Wedowee, Woodland. Ranburne goes to 66. Carrollton will top out at 66 this afternoon, and Valley will hit 69 degrees. Here's your 6-day forecast from the Alpha Weather Center. Jamie Dukas, your local Alpha agent. A near 100% chance of showers, maybe thunderstorms, and gusty winds this morning, giving way to partly cloudy skies by late this afternoon. Maybe some rain lingering into the early evening hours will give you a 20% chance. Severe weather doesn't seem that likely for East Alabama and West Georgia, but we do have a complex of storms stretching from Eufaula back up to the I-85 corridor just east of Montgomery, headed toward the Columbus area. We'll show you that in just a few moments on your Southern Union State Community College live Doppler HD radar. On Wednesday, we're going to about a 20% chance of showers to start your day. We'll stay cloudy most of the day tomorrow, maybe some sunshine late in the afternoon. A much cooler day, only 55 degrees tomorrow, and we'll drop into the mid-30s for your overnight lows on Wednesday, just in time to set the weather stage for Thanksgiving Day, which right now looks pretty good. It's going to be partly sunny on Thursday, high temperature only in the upper 50s, and we'll introduce rain once again, but that won't happen until after sunset Thursday night as we head into Friday. And it's only a 20% chance of showers on Friday. And for you folks headed to Pickens County to root on the West Bank Dogs on Friday night, we're only going to give you about a 10 to 15% chance of seeing a rain shower during that ball game. We'll have that complete updated forecast for the Wadley game coming up tomorrow morning here on Dr. Don's Weather. But Friday, we're looking at a high of 56. And then for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, partly sunny skies on Saturday, 59. And on Sunday, partly sunny, 59 degrees as well. All right, let's take a look at your Southern Union State Community College live Doppler HD radar, because there's a lot going on out there this morning, and there's a lot we need to tell you about. You'll notice this area of red that is showing up from about Ozark over to Eufaula, then up to Union Springs and Tuskegee. At the moment, this is the strongest thunderstorm activity we can find on radar, and it's really moving off to the east-northeast along and south of the I-85 corridor. So this is headed directly for the Columbus, Phoenix City area. Valley, you may get caught on the extreme northern end of this as it moves off to the northeast. So heads up, Auburn, Opelika, Valley, Columbus, Smith Station, Phoenix City, all the way down the Alabama-Georgia state line down to Lake Eufaula, Troy, Ozark, and anywhere along I-85, Tuskegee. It's going to be storming there pretty good. Mostly heavy rain. There is some thunder and lightning contained within this storm. We don't see anything tornadic here, but we're going to keep an eye on this as it moves off to the east and northeast. That will stay south of Randolph, Clay, Talladega, Coosa, Tallapoosa, and Chambers, though we do have some individual smaller pockets of heavy rain moving up into the Alexander City area and eventually on up into Chambers and Randolph as well. And then look back off to the southwest, because you folks up here in East Alabama, look back toward Clanton, Montgomery, down toward Thomasville and Jackson. That's where your weather comes from today. So anything that develops back here is going to eventually move up into East Alabama and West Georgia. Pretty good range down there in Autauga County this morning, down there around Prattville, back over toward Wetumpka. It's just going to be one of those days. Pretty much going to last all day. We could see things start to calm down later on this afternoon. But for the most part, a wet, rainy day for East Alabama and West Georgia. I'm going to put the composite up there and zoom out so you can kind of get a big picture of what's happening across the entire southeastern United States. And just look at that. We have triple barrel low pressure. I mean, we have one centered up there in Kentucky, another one in northwest Alabama, and then one down there around Jackson, Mississippi. And rain stretching this morning really from the Canadian border up north of the Great Lakes all the way to just east of New Orleans, Louisiana, and all of that moving on off toward the east. So wet day across the eastern half of the United States. So don't forget to follow us over on Twitter. It's at DSTREN1040. We broadcast all of our weather information on Twitter, just as we do on Facebook, YouTube, and at DrDonWX.com. That's our home on the World Wide Web. Now, you folks that live in Randolph County, make sure that you text the word alert to 256-540-8664 so that you'll get that important information from the Randolph County Emergency Management Agency. It's called HyperReach. It's brought to you by the Randolph County Commission. Again, the number is 256-540-8664. Be sure and do that this morning so that you'll get that information from Randolph County Emergency Management. Hey, if you own a business and would like to be a partner with us here on Dr. Don's Weather, such as Jimmy Stevens of Jimmy Stevens Construction and Donna McKay, Mayor, Town of Wadley, all you have to do is send me a message on Messenger, and I can have you started by the time we do our next weather forecast, which, if things were to turn severe later today, I'll be back with you and we'll continue with our live coverage. If not, we'll see you back in here first thing tomorrow morning on Dr. Don's Weather. This has been a special live version of our primetime forecast. For you folks that are watching us live, we do this every single morning. It's typically recorded. We typically don't do it live, but if you haven't liked us lately on Facebook, be sure and like us and share us with your friends and ask them to share with their friends. You know, if you don't watch us on Facebook on a regular basis, the way Facebook works, it will drop us off of your feed. So it's very important to constantly click that little like button and also share us with your friends and ask them to share with their friends so that we will stay on your feed so you'll see us every single day. So hope that you'll do that, and be sure to head over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Even if you watch us on Facebook, you need to subscribe to our channel on YouTube so that you'll be guaranteed to get that notification when we go live. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I'll be back later with updates if it becomes necessary here on Dr. Don's Weather.
This has been your primetime forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from the Alpha Weather Center, powered by Southern Union State Community College, the venue at 5 Points Farms and Boondocks Barbecue and Creamery. Dr. Don's Weather is supported by the Randolph County Commission, Heron's Tree Service, Roger Bell Auto Brokers, Southern Auction Solutions, Genesis Weight Clinic, Jimmy Stevens Construction, Anchor Roofing, the Town of Wadley, Auction 431 South, and Bama Diesel Repair. Be sure to like us on Facebook, share us with all of your friends, and subscribe to Dr. Don's Weather on YouTube. We will be back tomorrow morning with another edition of your primetime forecast on Dr. Don's Weather.